Chapter 1. Enter Thoris. The war on Thoris started relatively small. The conflict started with small engagements which quickly escalated to the full-blown war, later known as the Ares War. Sector Ares was largely a backwater system that drew no attention until the Citrix Maledictum, when suddenly it became a beacon of hope for Ares and nearby sectors. The planet's governor, who was largely already the highest point of authority within the sector in terms of trade, resources, and civilian matters, was chosen by a council of peers to command and oversee military command of the sector. Initially, the engagements were largely dealing raiding parties by central intelligence agencies on Thoris, no more than thieves, pirates, etc., who just was seeking to make good use of an opportunity of the chaos that was ensuing since Maledictum's formation. This quickly became proved as false when suddenly vast armadas translated the system. The first to come were the Xenos, appearing in mass. Harlequins and Aldari forces suddenly appearing as if from nowhere, followed swiftly by the Tau. Whilst the former seemed to have no known agenda, the later seemed to be a wayward expeditionary force, driven off course somehow from their homeworld of Tau. At the same time, cults known collectively as the Reborn rose, causing mayhem and destruction throughout the districts of Thoris. These quickly became realized as cults of the dark god of Nurgle, and a dark fleet of heretic Astartes translating the system led by none other than Abaddon, the Despoiler. The Armada consisted of forces of the Night Lords, Red Corsairs, and largely of the Black Legion. More specifically, the warband known as the Untamed, and their new leader, Caragorn, the Arc Sorcerer. The planets of Thoris' defense largely consisted of the Thoris Guard led by Commander Louisiana. These were backed up by the Astra Militarum and shortly afterwards the Death Watch, but these became quickly overrun by the massed forces against them. Largely this was due to the incompetence of the governor, whose advisors of his own stupor still believed that there was nothing to be worried about. This in turn led to catastrophic losses for the Imperium and the loss of several districts. The planet itself was guarded by a small military fleet, which again became quickly overwhelmed by the armadas that assaulted the system. The Black Legion started the conflict, spearheading an assault initially against the Astra Militarum, against the governor's private sector, which, whilst military strategists thought had no real military significance, later became known as a statement more than anything else, and a backdrop for something far sinister. The Night Lords roamed the planet's districts, no real military objective other than to cause pain, suffering to anyone they could find. The Red Corsairs largely remained out of the initial conflict planetside. However, either ordered or maybe merely content, they raided the shipping lanes and pulled military resources from the planet. Tau initially led a small force to take an outpost on the planet. Maybe this was to settle, or maybe this was to expand upon, but after a devastating conflict with the Night Lords, decided to sit out the initial conflict for Thoris. The Aldari instead had a majorly active role. The Harlequins, gone largely unknown, fought heretics and Imperium alike, appearing as if from nowhere, then suddenly vanishing and appearing elsewhere. The consequences of their actions could not be determined until later in the conflict. The Chaos Forces pushed onwards, carving out an entire northern district of the planet, and whilst the Thoris Guard managed to reclaim sectors previously taken within the southern districts, they not only suffered many casualties, but found that these were left to little more than mere cults, which concerned Imperial commanders on the ground as to the true intents of the heretics. The Imperial commanders and Commander Louisiana attempted to plead to the governor to take action, but as before, he seemed little concerned with the dealings of the war. With no central leadership, it appeared the battle for Thoris may already be lost. This was when the forces of the Craftworld Orthrey intervened. The Orthrey forces, led by Aldrad and Tenvar, led a devastating assault on Abaddon's forces, and whilst they were not victorious in the grand scheme of things, they dealt a mortal wound to the War Master. The Battle of the Promethean Fields, as it was later known, had been costly, but led to events which quickly turned the tide for the Imperium. This led to Abaddon leaving Thoris with the majority of the Chaos fleet. Though it was not known at the time why this was seen as an opportunity for the already battered Imperial fleet, who in a devastating gambit broke the deadlock of the blockade that the Chaos fleet held on Thoris. At the same time, Mephiston and a host of elite warriors from the Blood Angels chapter arrived on Thoris. Whilst their initial goals was to seek potential fallen brothers, the Lord of Death, seeing the situation at hand, quickly took command of the Imperial forces, and victory after victory led to districts being brought back into the fold, and the conflict with the Black Legion led to a stalemate. During this time, Karagorn was granted command by the War Master upon leaving. His intent to prove the worth of the Untamed once again in the eyes of the War Master. During his time at Thoris, he had led citizens and militia alike to the fold of Nurgle, his patron god. However, Mephiston saw an opportunity arise when the Untamed attempted an assault on the planet Starport. Gathering with him the Raven Guard and Blood Angels, he launched an assault on the point of where he thought Karagorn and his most trusted commanders lay. His visions proved correct. During the battle, Mephiston slayed Karagorn with his Carmine blade, and his forces scattered the remnants of the Untamed. This was seen as a crushing victory for the Imperium, one which they had not felt since the opening stages of the war, and Mephiston was welcomed back to the governor's district as a hero. It wasn't until the next stage of the war for Thoris that this victory would soon be remembered as one of the bleakest times in the war for Thoris.
Hello everyone, my name is Mick Miller. I run the Sector Areas page, and I'm also helping Mark from Fourth Planet Games run the lore side of the campaign. I just wanted to say thank you for watching the video so far, and just to let you know that this video is done as an actual recount of the battles fought by the players that are running in the Thoris campaign. I also want to give a shout out to everybody that's been participating in the campaign so far. It's been great to see everyone playing some Warhammer 40k games at Fourth Planet again, and for everyone to look forward to the next video, which will be the conclusion of Chapter 2, The Dead Rise, and also for everyone to look forward to the event on the 15th, which will be a new chapter in the War for Thoris. So once again, thank you.